Deep in the heart of the archipelago lies a peak that the maps refuse to name, Mount Angker. It is a place where the trees grow twisted, as if recoiling from the very soil they inhabit. Here the wind doesn't blow, it breathes, carrying the scent of damp earth and ancient decay. They speak of the eternal promise, a pact signed in blood and shadow, a deal made with entities that existed long before man learned to fear the dark. Every footstep on this mountain feels like a violation of a sacred, terrifying silence that has lasted for centuries.
The villagers in the valley below keep their lanterns burning all night, praying that the mountain stays hungry for something other than their children. They whisper of the Jenglod, a creature no larger than a doll, but with the thirst of 1,000 demons. With its long, needle-like hair and fangs that never stop growing, it is the guardian of the peak. It is the one that facilitates the dark commerce of the soul. They say if you bring it what it desires, wealth and power will be yours, but the cost is never mentioned in the legends.
Tonight, a lone traveler climbs the jagged slopes. He leads a black goat, its coat as dark as the void, its eyes reflecting a strange, human-like intelligence. The man's heart hammers against his ribs like a trapped bird, but greed is a far stronger motivator than fear. He has lost everything to the world of men, and now he seeks the favor of the world of spirits. He believes that by offering this animal, he can reclaim his lost glory. He does not notice that the goat has stopped resisting, walking beside him with an eerie, calm purpose.
The forest thickens, the air turning cold enough to crack bone. The traveler feels eyes upon him, not just from the bushes, but from the very stones themselves. The Jenglod is watching. It doesn't move through the brush like an animal. It shifts through the dimensions of the mountain, appearing in the corner of one's eye, only to vanish when challenged. The traveler whispers prayers to gods he abandoned long ago, but the only response is the rhythmic thud of the goat's hooves on the cold, hard earth. The trail is leading him to the summit, where the veil is thinnest.
They reach a clearing where the trees refuse to grow. In the center stands an altar of basalt, stained with the offerings of those who came before. The black goat stands perfectly still now, staring at the man. Its silence is more unsettling than any bleat of terror. The man fumbles with his knife, his hands shaking so violently he nearly drops the blade. He remembers the instructions: blood for the earth, the soul for the king. He prepares to strike, his mind filled with visions of gold and silver, oblivious to the fact that the mountain has gone completely silent.
Suddenly, a high-pitched whistle pierces the air, a sound like metal scraping on bone. From the cracks in the altar, the Jenglod emerges. It moves with a jerky, stop-motion grace, its tiny limbs clicking. Its hair trails behind it like a shroud. The traveler freezes, the knife hovering in the air. The creature's eyes are not dull. They burn with an ancient, predatory fire. It doesn't look at the goat. It looks directly at the man. In that moment, the traveler realizes that he is not the one making the offering. He is merely the one delivering it.
The mountain does not care for the blood of beasts. The goat was never the sacrifice. The goat was the witness. The man gasps as the black goat begins to change. Its legs lengthen, its spine cracks and reforms, and its face stretches into a mask of twisted human features. The animal was merely a vessel, a temporary shape for a much older, hungrier presence that has been waiting for a new host.
The plot twist unfolds like a dying flower. The traveler tries to run, but his feet are rooted to the ground. The Jenglod leaps, not toward the man's throat, but toward his shadow. As the creature touches the shadow, the man feels his very essence being drained, pulled into the small, desiccated body of the Jenglod. His memories, his greed, his very name are being sucked into the void. Meanwhile, the transformed goat, now a tall, shadowy figure, takes the man's discarded knife. It stands with a grace that the traveler never possessed, its eyes glowing with a newfound humanity.
The exchange is complete. The entity that was once the goat now wears the man's face, though it fits him like a loose garment. It smiles, a wide, unnatural grin that reaches from ear to ear. It thanks the man for the vessel, for the chance to walk the world of men once more. The traveler, now trapped inside the withered, tiny husk of the Jenglod, can only scream in a voice that no one will ever hear. He is now the guardian of the peak. He is the one who will wait for the next greedy soul to climb the mountain with a sacrifice.
The sun begins to rise, but the light does not reach this clearing. The new man begins his descent, leading the empty husk of the goat, which is now just a brainless animal, back toward the village. He will tell them he found a fortune. He will tell them the mountain is kind. And one by one, the villagers will follow his trail, lured by the promise of wealth, only to find the traveler waiting for them on the altar. The eternal promise is not a gift. It is a cycle of replacement, an endless loop of suffering that feeds the mountain's hunger.
So, if you ever find yourself wandering the slopes of a mountain that isn't on the map, and you hear a soft, jerky clicking sound in the shadows, do not look back. If you find a black goat that follows you with knowing eyes, do not lead it to the summit. For the Jenglod is not a demon to be summoned, but a prison to be occupied. The mountain always gets its payment, and the contract is written in a language that only the dead can truly understand. Your greed is the only map the spirits need to find you.
Thank you for joining us on this descent into the shadows of Mount Angker. Folklore is often a warning disguised as a story, and some warnings should never be ignored. What would you sacrifice for your deepest desires? Tell us in the comments below, if you dare. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the myths and monsters that haunt our world. Until next time, stay away from the high peaks and keep your lanterns lit. Sleep well if the Jenglod lets you.